Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, and Abdourahmane Chiani have made their stance clear. Their nations are done with the International Organization of la Francophonie, OIF. Mali, following the footsteps of Burkina Faso and Niger, has officially withdrawn from the OIF, marking yet another bold move in severing ties with France. For these military-led governments, the decision is about sovereignty, not just symbolism. Mali's Ministry of Foreign Affairs didn't mince words in their official letter, stating that the country cannot remain part of an organization that contradicts its constitutional principles. The statement was a direct jab at the OIF's selective application of sanctions, particularly after coups in the Sahel. The three nations, founding members of the OIF since 1970, had already been suspended following their respective military takeovers. The OIF demanded a return to civilian rule, but the Sahelian leaders saw this as external meddling rather than genuine concern for democracy. In a joint statement, the foreign ministers of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso called out the OIF for being politically manipulated, favoring France's interests over the will of their people. They argue that instead of supporting their nation's legitimate aspirations, the OIF had become another tool of neocolonial influence. This isn't just about a membership card, it's part of a broader shift. In 2023, Mali downgraded French from its official language to a mere working language, while elevating traditional languages to official status. That's a strong statement in a country where 3.7 million out of 23 million people speak French. Then in December 2024, Bamako renamed several streets that once honored French colonial figures, erasing symbols of past oppression. Niger followed suit, renaming the Place de la Francophonie to Place de l'Alliance des États du Sahel. The rejection of the OIF follows a pattern. Earlier in 2024, these three nations pulled out of ECOWAS, accusing it of acting as a puppet for French interests. The move solidified their shift towards self-reliance and stronger ties with Russia. With French troops already kicked out and European partnerships severed, the Sahelian alliance has doubled down on realigning its political and economic strategies away from traditional Western influence. While some critics argue that cutting ties with France and European institutions could lead to economic challenges, the Sahel states remain unfazed. They are banking on alternative partnerships, especially with Russia, to build a future less dependent on former colonial powers. The OIF, now left with 90 member states, maintains its mission of promoting the French language and human rights, but its relevance in the Sahel has taken a serious hit. Despite mediation efforts from West African leaders, including Ghanaian President John Mahama, the Sahelian bloc remains firm in its decision. They see these moves not as isolation, but as necessary steps to reclaim their sovereignty. For them, it's not just about language or diplomacy, it's about breaking free from a system they believe has held them back for far too long.